Welcome to Overcoming Trauma. I am your coach Mel, and I am so happy you are here. Today, we are going to talk about anxiety and its long history of being explored, starting as far back as 45 BC with the philosopher Marcus Tullius Cicero, who wrote Tusculan Disputations. Cicero taught that obtaining inner peace meant gaining control of fear through wisdom, a message that mirrors 2 Timothy 1:7. For the Spirit God gave us does not make us timid, but gives us power, love, and self-discipline. Other ancient philosophers like Hippocrates, Plato, Aristotle, Seneca, and Cicero each had their own perspectives on anxiety and fear. Hippocrates believed that fear and sadness could stem from an excess of black bile, which he thought was linked to the seasons. This imbalance, he said, made people more prone to melancholy, leading to depression, fear, sadness, and even physical symptoms like gastrointestinal problems and arthritis. Plato and Aristotle, on the other hand, believed that fear was simply part of being human, a natural condition we all experience. So even before Christ's time on earth, philosophers were trying to understand what we now call anxiety, that restlessness, and dread about the future. Centuries later, the first person to ever write a book about anxiety was Søren Kierkegaard in 1844, titled The Concept of Anxiety. Now, critics might say, isn't this just religious guilt rather than clinical anxiety? But Kierkegaard argued the real issue is spiritual disconnection, not mere pathology, and this perspective encourages us to look beyond medical labels. Kierkegaard, a devout Christian philosopher, believed that anxiety was tied directly to original sin. He pointed to the moment when Adam realized he could sin, teaching that anxiety enters when humans recognize freedom apart from God. Kierkegaard's observation revealed that anxiety can even be generational, passed down from the sins of our ancestors. As Exodus 20:5 reminds us, I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, punishing the children for the sin of the parents to the 3rd and 4th generation. Kierkegaard also emphasized that anxiety was not merely a mental illness, but a sign of our spiritual need for God's guidance. By the 20th century, the view began to change. Anxiety became seen as clinical, not spiritual. Psychologists like Sigmund Freud, Carl Jung, Viktor Frankl, and Martin Heidegger began defining anxiety through a scientific lens. Freud believed anxiety was a psychological conflict between the ego and unconscious fears. Heidegger saw it as existential dread, the awareness of our mortality and loss of meaning. Viktor Frankl, however, viewed anxiety as a result of lacking purpose, teaching that meaning and faith could heal the anxious soul. In the modern era, science is once again recognizing that anxiety isn't purely psychological, it's biological, emotional, and spiritual. Researchers now know that chronic anxiety can damage the heart, immune system, digestion, and even the brain, causing inflammation, gut issues, and hippocampal shrinkage. Ultimately, extreme anxiety harms both body and spirit, but through faith, peace, and God's truth, healing and restoration are possible. If you are dealing with anxiety and would like to break free for this Black Friday early bird, I am discounting my new mini workshop Redeemed, but spots are limited, so you'll want to save your spot. I will link in the podcast description. That's it for this episode. Blessings.